Hello everyone, welcome to my channel, Whispers of Reza. Before we begin this journey, I want to invite you to take a deep breath, relax your mind, and allow yourself to be fully present in this moment. If you enjoy this kind of peaceful and emotional content, please support the channel by leaving a like, sharing your thoughts in the comments, and subscribing to Whispers of Reza for more stories, reflections, and calming journeys. Now let's begin. There was a person who spent years searching for something they could never find. They searched for success, hoping that one day they would finally feel complete. They searched for approval, hoping that other people's opinions would make them feel valuable. They searched for happiness in places, people, and achievements. But every night, when the world became quiet, they still felt the same emptiness inside. A feeling they could not explain. A feeling that whispered, "Something is missing." Maybe you have felt that feeling too. Maybe you have experienced moments where everything looked fine from the outside, but inside your mind was exhausted. The truth is, many people spend their entire lives running after the next goal, the next achievement, the next thing that they believe will finally bring them peace. But peace is not something you find at the end of a race. Peace is something you create within yourself. One morning, this person decided to leave the noise behind. Not forever, just for a moment. They walked into nature, far away from the endless sounds of daily life. No notifications, no pressure, no expectations, only silence. At first, the silence felt uncomfortable, because when everything around us becomes quiet, we finally hear the thoughts we have been avoiding. The fears, the regrets, the memories, the questions we never answered. But instead of running away, they stayed. They sat under a tree and listened. They realized something important. The mind is like the ocean. Sometimes it is calm. Sometimes it is full of storms. But the ocean is always there. The waves do not define the ocean. And your thoughts do not define you. You are not every negative thought that appears in your mind. You are the person who observes those thoughts. For years, they believed they needed to change everything about themselves to become happy. But that day, they discovered a different truth. They didn't need to become someone new. They needed to reconnect with who they truly were. The world constantly tells us, you need more money, more success, more attention, more recognition. But rarely does the world tell us, maybe you already have enough. Maybe you are already worthy. Maybe you don't need to prove your value every single day. Life is not only about reaching destinations. Sometimes life is about appreciating the road. The small moments, the morning sunlight entering your room, the sound of rain touching the window, a peaceful conversation, a quiet moment with yourself. These simple things are often the moments we ignore while searching for something bigger. Remember, if you are enjoying this peaceful journey and these emotional stories, don't forget to support Whispers of Reza by liking this video, leaving a comment, and subscribing to the channel. Your support helps us create more calming and meaningful content. The person slowly learned that healing does not happen overnight. Healing is a journey. Some days are beautiful. Some days are difficult. Some days you feel strong. Some days you feel lost. And that is okay. You are human. You are allowed to have difficult moments. The important thing is that you never stop moving forward. Even the smallest step matters. Even a small moment of peace matters. Days passed, and the person continued their journey of understanding themselves. They started every morning differently. Instead of waking up and immediately thinking about problems, they took a few moments to breathe. They looked at the sky. They listened to the silence. They reminded themselves, today is a new beginning. Because every morning is a chance to start again. A chance to forgive yourself for yesterday. A chance to release the things you cannot control. A chance to become a little more peaceful than you were before. One of the biggest lessons they learned was that the mind often creates battles that do not exist. Sometimes we suffer not because of what is happening, but because of the stories we create inside our minds. We imagine failures before they happen. We fear losing things we still have. We worry about tomorrow while forgetting to live today. The mind can become a prison if we allow every thought to control us. But the mind can also become a place of peace when we learn how to guide it. They began practicing something simple. Every night before sleeping, they asked themselves 3 questions. What did I learn today? What am I grateful for today? What can I let go of before tomorrow? At first, these questions seemed small, but slowly they changed everything. They realized that gratitude changes the way we see life. When we focus only on what is missing, we feel empty. But when we notice what we already have, we feel rich. A peaceful heart is not a heart that has everything. A peaceful heart is a heart that appreciates everything. There was a time when this person was constantly comparing themselves to others. They looked at other people's lives and felt behind. They saw someone's success and questioned their own journey. They saw someone's happiness and wondered why they weren't the same. But one day they understood something powerful. Everyone has a hidden story. You see someone's success, but you don't see their struggles. You see someone's smile, but you don't see their silent battles. You see someone's victory, but you don't see the years they spent trying. Never compare your chapter 1 to someone else's chapter 20. Your journey is yours. Your timing is yours. Your path is unique. The person learned to be kinder to themselves. They stopped talking to themselves like an enemy. They stopped saying, I am not enough. I should be better. I failed. Instead, they started saying, I am learning. I am growing. I am becoming stronger. Because the way you speak to yourself matters. Your mind listens to every word you say. If you constantly fill your mind with criticism, your heart becomes tired. But if you fill your mind with kindness, you create space for healing. Life will always have challenges. There will be moments when everything feels heavy. There will be days when motivation disappears. But remember this, a tree does not grow without facing storms. The strongest people are not those who never struggle. The strongest people are those who continue despite their struggles. Every difficult moment you survive becomes a part of your strength. Every pain you overcome becomes a lesson. Every scar tells a story of courage. Take a moment now. Close your eyes if you can. Take a slow breath. Feel the present moment. You are here. You survived every difficult day that once felt impossible. You have already overcome things you thought you couldn't. And that means there is more strength inside you than you realize. If this story brings you even a small moment of peace, support Whispers of Reza by liking this video, sharing your thoughts in the comments, and subscribing to the channel for more calming stories and emotional journeys. The person finally understood that peace is not about having a perfect life. Perfect life does not exist. Peace comes when you accept an imperfect life with a calm heart. You stop fighting every situation. You stop trying to control everything. You learn to trust the journey, because sometimes the moments that break you are the same moments that rebuild you into someone stronger. As the journey continued, the person discovered another important truth. Sometimes the heaviest things we carry are not the problems around us, but the emotions we refuse to release. Old memories, past mistakes, words that hurt us, moments we wish we could change. They had been carrying these things for years without realizing how much weight they were adding to their heart. One evening, while sitting alone and watching the sunset, they asked themselves, why am I still holding on to things that are already gone? The past had already happened. The moment had already passed. The words had already been spoken. But somehow they were still allowing old pain to control their present. And that night they made a decision. They decided to forgive. Not because what happened was okay. Not because others deserved forgiveness. But because they deserved peace. Forgiveness is not about forgetting. It is not about pretending that pain never existed. Forgiveness means choosing yourself. It means saying, I will not allow this moment from my past to steal my happiness today. Because when you hold on to anger, you are the one who feels the weight. When you hold on to sadness, you are the one who carries the burden. Sometimes letting go is not a sign of weakness. Sometimes letting go is the greatest act of strength. The person also learned that being alone does not always mean being lonely. There is a difference between loneliness and solitude. Loneliness feels like something is missing. Solitude feels like coming home to yourself. In quiet moments, they discovered parts of themselves they had ignored for years. They discovered their dreams, their values, their true feelings. They realized that they had spent so much time trying to be accepted by others that they forgot to accept themselves. Many people spend their lives searching for someone who understands them, but they forget the first person who needs their understanding is themselves. You need to listen to your own heart. You need to respect your own feelings. You need to give yourself the same kindness you give to others, because you cannot build a peaceful life while constantly fighting yourself. The person started creating small moments of mindfulness. They enjoyed their morning coffee without rushing. They listened carefully when someone spoke. They walked outside and noticed the beauty around them. They stopped living only for the future. They stopped being trapped in the past. They started living in the only place where life truly exists, the present moment. The present moment is a gift. That is why we call it the present. But many people miss it. They are physically here, but mentally somewhere else. Their body is in today, but their mind is stuck yesterday or worried about tomorrow. The person realized, the past is a memory, the future is a possibility, but the present is reality. And the present is where transformation begins. Sometimes the greatest change does not come from huge decisions. It comes from small choices repeated every day. Choosing peace instead of anger. Choosing patience instead of frustration. Choosing gratitude instead of complaining. Choosing hope instead of fear. A peaceful mind is built through small moments. Just like a strong building is created one brick at a time. Remember, if you are finding value in this peaceful journey, don't forget to support Whispers of Reza. Leave a like, write a comment about your thoughts, and subscribe to the channel. Your support allows us to continue creating more emotional stories, meditation journeys, and moments of calm. The person finally understood something beautiful. Life will never be completely free of storms. There will always be unexpected changes. There will always be challenges. But you can learn how to find calm even during the storm. A peaceful person is not someone who lives without problems. A peaceful person is someone who has learned how to stay calm while facing problems. And that was the greatest discovery of their journey. They were not searching for a perfect world. They were searching for a peaceful heart. And that peace was not somewhere far away. It was inside them all along. Months passed, and the person began to notice a transformation. The world around them had not completely changed. Problems still existed. Difficult days still came. People still made mistakes. But something inside them was different. Their reaction had changed. They no longer allowed every situation to steal their peace. They had learned that they could not control everything that happens, but they could control how they respond. Before this journey, they searched for happiness in the outside world. They believed that one day, when they achieved more, owned more, or became more successful, they would finally feel peaceful. But they discovered a powerful truth. Happiness is not something you find. It is something you create. A person can have everything and still feel empty. Another person can have very little and still feel grateful. The difference is not always what you have. The difference is how you see what you have. The person started appreciating the small miracles of everyday life. The warmth of sunlight in the morning. The sound of birds outside the window. A meaningful conversation with someone they love. A moment of silence after a busy day. They realized that life is not only made of big moments. Life is mostly made of small moments that we often ignore. And sometimes the smallest moments create the biggest memories. They also learned the importance of protecting their energy. For years, they tried to please everyone. They said yes when they wanted to say no. They stayed silent when they wanted to speak. They changed themselves to fit into places where they did not belong. But eventually they understood. You do not need everyone to understand you. You only need to understand yourself. Your peace is valuable. Your time is valuable. Your energy is valuable. Protecting yourself is not selfish. It is necessary. There will always be people who misunderstand you. There will always be people who judge your choices. There will always be people who do not see your effort. But remember, a flower does not stop growing because someone does not appreciate its beauty. A bird does not stop singing because someone does not listen. And you should not stop becoming who you are because someone does not understand your journey. The person stopped chasing approval. They stopped asking, "What will everyone think of me?" And they started asking, "Am I proud of the person I am becoming?" That question changed everything. Because at the end of life, you will not remember every opinion people had about you. You will remember the moments when you were truly yourself. Sometimes we forget that we are also someone who deserves love. We give love to others. We forgive others. We support others. But we forget to offer the same kindness to ourselves. Speak to yourself gently. Celebrate your progress. Accept your imperfections. You are not a finished product. You are a person constantly growing. Take another deep breath. Allow yourself to release the pressure you have been carrying. You do not have to solve everything today. You do not have to have every answer right now. Some things need time. Some wounds need patience. Some dreams need a slow journey. Trust the process. If this story has helped you feel calmer or inspired you even a little, support Whispers of Reza by liking this video, sharing your feelings in the comments, and subscribing to the channel. Every comment and every subscription helps this community grow and brings more peaceful stories to people who need them. The person finally realized that peace is not a destination. It is a way of living. It is waking up and choosing gratitude. It is facing challenges with courage. It is forgiving yourself for being human. It is understanding that your worth was never based on your achievements. You were valuable before you achieved anything. You were worthy before anyone recognized you. And from that day forward, the person carried a different kind of strength. Not the strength of someone who never falls, but the strength of someone who knows they can always rise again. Because life may change. People may leave. Situations may become difficult. But the peace you build inside yourself can become your greatest source of strength. Years later, the person looked back at the journey they had taken. They remembered the days when their mind was full of fear, the nights when they felt lost, the moments when they questioned their own worth. And they smiled, not because those moments were easy, but because those moments helped them become who they were. They finally understood that every difficult chapter had a purpose. Every challenge taught them something. Every painful moment gave them a deeper understanding of life. They learned that peace does not mean a life without problems. Peace means having a heart strong enough to face problems without losing yourself. Because storms will come. There will be unexpected changes. There will be moments when life does not go according to your plans. But you have a choice. You can let those moments destroy your inner world, or you can allow them to teach you, strengthen you, and help you grow. The person looked at life differently now. They no longer waited for the perfect moment to be happy. They no longer believed happiness would come after reaching some distant goal. They realized, the moment you are living right now is the only moment you truly own. So appreciate it. Feel it. Live it. Because life is not waiting somewhere in the future. Life is happening now. They also discovered that everyone is fighting a battle that others cannot see. The person walking beside you may be carrying pain you know nothing about. The person smiling at you may be hiding struggles behind that smile. That is why kindness matters. A simple kind word can change someone's entire day. A small act of compassion can remind someone that they are not alone. Never underestimate the power of kindness. And maybe today you are also on your own journey. Maybe you are trying to heal. Maybe you are trying to find yourself again. Maybe you are tired from carrying things nobody knows about. If that is you, remember this. You are allowed to move slowly. You are allowed to rest. You are allowed to start again. Your journey does not have to look like anyone else's. You are not behind. You are exactly where you need to be. Close your eyes for a moment. Take a deep breath. Let go of the worries that do not belong to this moment. Release the fear of tomorrow. Release the pain of yesterday. Come back to yourself. You are here. You are alive. You have survived every difficult moment that once felt impossible. And that is something worth being proud of. The greatest lesson the person learned was simple. You do not find peace by changing the entire world around you. You find peace by changing the relationship you have with yourself. when you accept yourself, when you forgive yourself, when you treat yourself with kindness, you create a place inside your heart where peace can always exist. So remember, you are not your past mistakes. You are not your failures. You are not the opinions of others. You are a person with endless potential, a person who can grow, a person who can heal, a person who can create a beautiful future. Thank you for spending this peaceful moment with Whispers of Reza. If this story gave you even a small feeling of calm, please support the channel by liking this video, sharing your thoughts in the comments, and subscribing to Whispers of Reza. Your support means a lot and helps us create more emotional stories, meditation journeys, and peaceful messages. Until the next journey, remember to breathe. Remember to be kind to yourself. Remember that even in the darkest moments, there is always a small light waiting to be discovered. Your peace is not somewhere far away. It has always been inside you. Thank you for listening.